I did 33 years in the feds. And when you stand on something, you got to stand on it. When you name yourself these different names, I hear dudes say their name was CK this and B. You got to stand on that, homie, because when dudes approach you and you ain't about your business, they going to say, oh, that nigga was faking. But I truly do believe that Fort Worth, homie, is standing on business. And I think, they willing to go to war for this shit.
Gotta stay on my grind and get my money right. Gotta make sure me and my brothers hustle through the night. Me and my niggas, we gon' swing, we gon' blow that pipe. Hop out on your block with thunder clapping when we make it strike. Hop on feet, hop out, give them smoke, gon' be a can of
OG Kunta cuz. Man, welcome back to the platform.
What's good, my G?
And before we even start, man, I gotta say what you're witnessing right now, to all the fans, all the viewers, man, you got two legends on the couch. And I mean legends with capital letters. But Kunta, I'm gonna let you give this man a formal introduction.
Okay. First of all, man, shout out to Unique's Perspective for having us, on the platform. It's great to be back. Who I got next to me, y'all, fans, Unique Perspective fans, and for those who don't know, it's a Fort Worth legend, a California legend, Las Vegas legend. Bro is all the way over international Crip. This is an international Crip legend. We got LA Run in the building, and I was fortunate, to know this man, and his reign in the city of Fort Worth. I was one of the youngsters, that used to sit around and we used to listen to the legends of this brother right here, So, with no further ado, this LA Run live in the building. Oh, my bad here. I'm too excited, y'all.
All right, how y'all doing? Unique Perspective. My name is Ronald Fisher. I'm from South Central Los Angeles. I came down here in the 80s, but I was in Vegas before here. I was born in Louisiana, and I have pretty much ties, to a lot of these cities. I ended up getting busted in Fort Worth, but I've been to a lot of other cities. And just to talk about a little bit myself, which I don't really like to do, I run into Kunta from a guy named Cuzzo Link that's a rapper out here, but I just got out the feds from doing 33 years. I had life for 30 years, and I'm from the east side of Los Angeles, which they call the north side of 7-6 East Coast Crips. I live in the 60s, but I'm from the 76th Street, but a lot of people out here thought I was from the 60s or I was from Hoover. But today we're going to straighten out a lot of that, the myths of what gang I was from. And just to even be able to sitting over here with a young guy that I respect, that a lot of people respect in these streets. And I would just wanted to be able to talk about what he doing and what he gonna do and how far we gonna be able to take Fort Worth and on a whole different level to another level, and we're going to be able to, start interviewing rappers and bringing people to this channel, which I like this channel. I have OGLA Ron podcast and YouTube, but this guy is the real deal, and hopefully we be able to answer a lot of your questions and be able to see what happened in Fort Worth from 80s to the 90s to the 2000s.
So we finna talk about a little bit of Fort Worth history, first of all. I want to say this, a lot of people are not familiar with the fact that the Crips had been in Fort Worth since the early 80s, You had brothers like this brother, you had, several, known Crips, Nolan, this brother, Hoover Dre, Rank, You had known Crips. Some from Cali, some from Louisiana, they were here, we've been going back and forth on the internet about this GC thing and this HCG thing. And we wanted to give some clarity to the fact of how, Fort Worth has always had a history of Crip. I want to show, first of all, these two documents, for all the people. This is Stanley Tookie Williams. You know what I'm saying? We stand behind Tookie, you know, the Hoover's doing in the state of Texas, in the city of Fort Worth. You know, we not against Hoover at all. We Hoover here. But let me show you a document that's also very, very important. And this is the obituary of Raymond Washington, you know. See, y'all got to understand that in Fort Worth, we stand as Hoovers, but it's not just Hoovers in Fort Worth. It's not just Hoovers in Texas. It's all different kinds of sets of Crip in Texas. So for Raymond Washington, the Hoovers, we stand under Crip. We stand on Crip. Crip is one car here. We don't make no distinction between the sets. And it was brothers like this brother right here, you hear me, who basically brought the idea of Crips being together, you know. He brought the 6 O's, he brought Hoover, he brought himself, which is East Coast Neighborhood. He brought various sets to the city of Fort Worth. And what these big brothers did was they put their difference aside and started to set the example that was followed here. And it really linked out into the whole state of Texas, you see, because everybody knows that Cripping has a serious and early history in Fort Worth, you see. And when these brothers got here into our city, they was under one umbrella. They was all Crips moving under the same motion. It was never about me tripping with, or he tripping with him because he's 6'0", or he tripping with him because he Hoover, or he tripping with him because he neighborhood. It was all the Crips that was in the circle that were working together, and they was doing their thing, you know. And they set that example. That's a high example that a lot of people don't really seem to get and understand, you know, about the city of, about the state of Fort Worth, is that we got big Crips that came to this area and set a high example of how Crips are supposed to be all over the world. You know, the laws state that a Crip ain't never supposed to kill no other Crip, you see. Now, we ain't saying that didn't happen here, but we got brothers like this that kept us on the straight and narrow so that didn't continue to happen, you see. We had brothers like this brother who was always around setting the example of how Crips can all get money together, you see. And, you know, we didn't get it at first. I'm not going to say we got it at first. But once we got to a certain point in our own minds where we realized what our big brothers was doing, we got on board with that script. Because to us, that was the right script, you see. We didn't make no distinctions or we didn't set no barriers on Crip. See, a Crip is a Crip. And according to the laws, we don't kill Crips, you see. And that narrative we're going to continue to follow in the city of Fort Worth and in the state of Texas. We're not practicing no Crip on Crip violence here. We are here as an example. You got Big Bro. You got brothers like me. You got brothers like Duke. You got homies in the H. You got homies in Tyler. You got homies all around the state of Texas. And we all on the same narrative that we don't support Crip on Crip violence, you see. And we would never abandon Crip, especially here in Texas. We will not abandon Crip. We see that as treason, you know. And we never abandon Crip, and we won't. Now, how everybody else want to do it, wherever they from, that's on y'all. But where we stand in Fort Worth and in Texas, we stand stiff on CRIP. You hear me? We stand stiff on that. And that's Community Revolution in Progress. And that's a structure that Raymond Washington put down. You know what I'm saying? And then you already know it's much love to the big homie Tookie, because he put down a structure too. And I'm not in a disagreement with none of the script. But the script we have is a script of Community Revolution in Progress, where all Crips are the same. All Crips, there's no Crip that's better than the other Crip. You know, I'm not going to promote Hoover over the 60s. In the 60s, I ain't going to promote 60s over Hoover. We not going to go and do a drive-by or ride on those 60s because they 60s. Hoover don't do that in Texas, you see. Because we believe in Crip. We don't just believe in Hoover. We respect Hoover, we ride with Hoover, but we just don't believe that Hoover is more important than Crip. To us, Crip means a whole lot. And we're going to keep that tradition and our set. You know, we're going to stay HCG. You hear me? Here in Texas. We're not going to change that. We've heard people say, well, you know, you got 5 those GCs, you know, in Cali. And we got much love for the 5 those GCs wherever they are, because it's all Hoover, you see. But what the stand that we saying to everybody that want to try to judge us, you know, but ain't never stepped in our shoes. We not comparing ourselves to the shoes that y'all got on. And the shoes that y'all got on will not fit our feet. And I'm pretty sure the shoes that y'all got on, we can't fit them either. So we got to put stuff in right perspective. Y'all wear the shoes that y'all wear for the reason that y'all wear it, but we wear the shoes that we wear for the reason that we wear them. And we not going to stop repping, you know, the way we rep. And we ask, you know, that everybody stop having an opinion about us rather than to come meet us and find out how serious we groove and how respected we are all over the state of Texas. Not just in Fort Worth, but all over the state of Texas. Hoover is respected. Texas is a Medina. They call it Fort Worth, baby, LA. Because we've been repping this in Fort Worth, really in Texas, period. We, you know, you could call Texas baby Cali, baby California. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been repping the same as the homies, you know, have in Cali, you know. We've been following, you know, behind brothers like this, you know. Behind brothers like my big homie Hoover Drake, behind brothers like Lil Rank, you know. And we carried on this tradition. Now, a lot of people want to judge us and say, well, y'all shouldn't be HCG. But who are y'all to say y'all can't be mad at us, because this is the way it was given to us by our forefathers. And most of them are gone. So y'all arguing in vain. And then to ask us to change after 38 years, that's like asking a child to herd to parents that never was there for 38 years. So please understand that we mean no disrespect to nobody, but we been walking in these shoes as Hoover HCG for the last 38 years in Texas, especially in Fort Worth. We not infringing on nobody. We never judged anybody. We never judged anybody for the variations and all the different things that they have done to Hoover. We never looked at anyone and threw any stones and said, hey, y'all are operating wrong. So I don't think it's fair for people to come to us and tell us that we operate. The ideal is to bridge the gaps and to bring Hoover together, or to bring Crips together, and to stop the Crip on Crip violence. That's something that every Crip and every gangster need to mature to, is that the Crip on Crip violence in the United States has gotten out of hand. And if we don't stop ourselves, they gonna put somebody in position to stop us. But, you know, I done ran my mouth a little bit. I'm gonna let Big Bro, you know what I'm saying, L.A. Runs, speak his piece.
You know, I did 33 years in the feds. And when you stand on something, you got to stand on it. When you name yourself these different names, I hear dudes say their name was CK, this and B. You got to stand on that, homie, because when dudes approach you and you ain't about your business, they going to say, oh, that nigga was faking. But I truly do believe that Fort Worth, homie, is standing on business. And I think, you know, they're willing to go to war for this shit. And I talked to them about it a few different ways. But, you know, I never really seen people that joined Crips. A lot of them was Hoovers first. A lot of them, a lot of them was hustlers first, excuse me. And hustlers, they was like, man, we was hustlers, but we turned Crip.
Right.
But I never heard nobody go, we Crip, then we finna turn something else. You feel me? I never heard that. So when I see people getting outside of the Crip, that's something different, homie. But I just seen dudes was taggers, hustlers, a little bit of everything, pimps, they put the Crip on it. But I never seen nobody get in the Crip and then say, we're going to be Crip. We're going to just drop that. Yeah, go ahead. But then that means, this subject, man, it's kind of hard for me to talk to. Like I say, man, I'm from East Coast. And at the end of the day, I came down here. I used to live in Hoover Hood. And I always knew Coke Dog, Ken Dog, the Hoovers that I knew, they was always Crips. And I really didn't ever hear that much about the groove thing until I was in the Feds. Ever since I moved on 49th and Hoover right around 1984, around the Olympics. I think it was 82, 84. And it was always, Kendo used to always tell me, yeah, Fish, man, we don't really get along. We don't get along with East Coast, homie, but you over here and stuff like that. But he was always saying Crip. And this was in the 80s. I always heard about the Hoover Connect guys, the Folk Trade, Hoop, Judah Bean and all those guys. But I never heard the Hoover, the Groovers until I got into the Feds. And I think the first time I heard of it was in, I knew it had already been existing, but I already kind of seen it for myself when I got to Victorville, and that was in 2008. And, but I had heard about it, but I didn't see it. And, when I got to Victorville, I see, Hoovers and they was sitting at the, table with the Damus. And that's when the first time I seen that, it was an issue. And, I ran into, Biscuit from Folk Trey and Vic and the 40s. I ran into the 40s, and the 40s was in the county jail, and they was getting into it with the Sioux Woo or the Crips was hanging with the Bloods. Somebody was hanging with the Bloods, and dudes was in the Feds with me, and they was kind of like salty about that, and they was saying that, man, we need to attack the Hoovers because in the county jail they riding with the Bloods, and it's some up in the units and stuff like that. But they asked me, they say, man, what's up with that, with the dudes that was riding with the Bloods inside of the county jail? And, it was a couple dudes, man, that, I say, oh, well, man,
wow,
these dudes wasn't even on the street for that. A lot of these dudes been in jail 4 or 5 years. And they wasn't on the street to even get into the swoon thing. So I'll suggest y'all let these guys make it, man. And a couple other guys like, all right, man, we're going to do that. But if anybody else come up, I say, well, this is what you do, man. If any of them dudes come up here that got into it with you in the county jail that was rolling that way, you got the right to get them. Right. And that's when the first time I really seen that it was an issue. But I did 33 years in the Feds, and I never had to divide the Crips with Crips. And then because when I was out here, and I left here in the 90s, 91, and guys used to ask about gangs in LA, and I used to tell them, man, you got the East Side Crips, you got the West Side Crips, you got Long Beach, you got Compton, Watts, all these Crip sets. And I never really heard them say, about this other stuff. But I just wanted to speak my piece on it. I know that one of the reasons a lot of stuff is down here is because guys would ask me, what about this gang? And what about that gang? And what about that gang? And I would tell them, but I never had to tell them about, nobody outside of the Crips, the Bloods or whatever. Cause, I did bring my uncle down here, but at the same time, man, I think, a lot of the younger guys, they say the younger guys is the ones that's really, pushing certain issues. And, a lot of them don't like to talk to the older guys. But you know what, man, when we end up in prison, when incarcerated, a lot of those divisions, they fall. But I know divided, they gonna conquer us, but we together, we strong. And I know that, man, when we be in the TV room in the penitentiary and people in there don't want to watch certain shows, it's always majority rule. But I don't think that somebody is bigger, one gang is bigger than this Crippin'. So if you want to do that, go ahead. But you ain't bigger than, it's too many Crips, homie.
Right.
You outnumbered. You the minority, we the majority. And I guess it's them against everybody else. But I know everybody I talk to, a lot of people don't want to talk about this issue. And it need to be talked about. And one day somebody gonna get down to the bottom of it. But right now, man, we're in a time right now. But I never really thought about division. I always thought about together, because when I was down here, me and my uncle Blood, we Crips, and we made money, man. It's all about the green at the end of the day.
That's right.
And I don't see too many people going to the bank and say, man, I'm from here, cashing no check because you this color, that color. But man, I got grandkids right now, man. I got 9 grandkids, and I really don't have time to be, watching my back because dudes, want to click up. You know what I'm saying? We used to fight. Raymond used to go to project areas that he thought that he can win. And that's what he used to do, homie. They didn't click up and try to beat people up just because they was outnumbered and they were scared. If you're scared, I suggest you go to church. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to click up with somebody to beat up the Crips, homie, it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Big C's.
I just seen it. People try it, and they don't last long. I just hope it's be a fad.
Right.
And it goes away. But I like this channel right here. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be big. I know it's going to be big. And I just want y'all to know, man, that this guy right here, man, he don't have no hidden agenda. He's not trying to belittle nobody. He's trying to come to the common denominator. He's trying to come and see how could he go to bed at night worrying about our kids. How could we stop these youngsters from going to prison? How could we stop these youngsters from killing each other? How could we start help feeding these youngsters and different things like that? Because, we all started off from one. And I didn't join, a gang to come in second place. I came in for first place.
That's right.
And you can be in second place if you want to, but that's on you. I don't have that mentality. But I think this guy right here, man, this is one of the biggest. This is one of the biggest cities. You got California, you got Texas, you got New York. Texas is one of the biggest ones. They just as big as California. When I was in the feds, it was more guys that was from out of town cripping than in town.
Wow.
Bloods too. We was outnumbered in prison, federal prison. And now, man, we need to just come together and we need to solve this issue.
And just to piggyback on what Big Bro said, the solving the issue is this, my humble message, to the homies from Cali. We have no discrepancies with y'all as being 5 Deuce Hoover GC, but we also ask that y'all have no discrepancies with 5 Deuce HCG, because we still Hoover. And number one, we still Crips. You know what I'm saying? And we do identify with the law of cripping. Here's a brother, a veteran, a day one homie to the set, a second generation to Cali, to Raymond Washington.
LA, yeah.
Yeah, you better believe it. It's a big homie, a real one, and we in the building with him. So we just basically we're not here to explain ourselves, because everybody gonna have their philosophy and their politics about cripping. We just basically sending a message to the homies to know that it ain't no smoke in Cali, and it shouldn't be none in Fort Worth. And then all the way over there to the homies over there in Cooper Road, we ain't got no smoke with y'all either, fam. But y'all got to respect this HCG. We respect GC. 5 Deuce GC is respected, but 5 Deuce HCG has to be respected as well. And as Crips and as Hoovers, we all need to get to that commonality and understanding. It should never be nobody on the internet slanging mud on no Crips. You know, we should not be on here embarrassing each other. You know what I'm saying? We should be up on here lifting each other up and connecting to show how we all can get to the bag and win. You know what I'm saying? That's the order. You know, you got anything else to say, big bro?
Just, closing out or whatever. I just want to give a shout out to some of my OGs, Big C's, LIL, Spook, Snake, a lot of my guys out the Grape Streets, 30s. Man, I just love Crips, my nigga. And
Same here.
I pretty much feel, what Kunta talking about. And we down here in Fort Worth, Texas, man. We gonna try to do our best and move forward. But we don't mind debating. We can debate all day. But let me ask you a question, man. What was Cadillac Bob? What was Fat Rat?
HCG.
R.I.P. Buddha. What was Buddha?
Hoover Crip. Hoover Crips.
What's Ken Dog? What's Fish? What's Shamrock? What's all of these 5 Deuces that I know? Coke Dog, Lil Coke Dog, Marvette.
It was all.
I can name them all day, homie. But I'm just trying to give this guy the education and the information that I know.
Lacing my chuck.
I'm not trying to change nothing he done and nothing he do, but I'm just giving him the information that I know and the information that I think that he need to know.
There you have it. Cripology 101. A big homie. You better know it.
All right, man. I think that's it for me.
Yeah. Man, y'all see us, man. This
Tap
is you.
to the page.
Tap it.
We answer any question you got.
Man, just tell them right now, big bro, where they can find you at, man, on your page.
Well, you can find me at OGLA Ron, OG_LA Ron, Ronald Fisher on Facebook, but on my YouTube and my Instagram, you can find me on OGLA Ron. And I want to give a shout out to the production crew here. They really been treating me nice. Give a shout out to Cuzzo Link, man. It was his birthday, and we did. He's the hardest worker, man, in showbiz. Cuzzo Link got 3 performances that he finna do, and I want to give a shout out to my boy Loco Mule out of New York, Charlie Hustle out of New York, Underdog out of the Bay Area, Lil D, Bay Rock. All the guys, man, all over, Philadelphia. I'm all over everywhere, man, so I'm just glad to be able to, I'm the only guy, one of the only guys that got out the feds with a life sentence for 33 years and got a YouTube. I'm glad about that, man. And, we finna, do some big things in Fort Worth. If any one of the rappers want to collaborate with some of our guys, come on down to Fort Worth, Texas, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about nobody snatching chains and pulling guns on you. We down here doing content. We finna be the next Tyler Perry or a big theater down here, the big podcast town, Fort Worth, Texas.
You know it. Y'all already know, man. We closing out right here at Unique Perspective, man. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Hey, and lastly, man, shout out to all the dead homies, man. RIP to all the Crips, you know what I'm saying? And the Bloods, you know what I'm saying? That lost their lives, you know what I'm saying? It's so many, So I can name some, but that wouldn't do it no justice. So I'm just going to say shout out to all, RIP to all the dead Crips and Bloods, you know what I'm saying, that lost their lives in the struggle.
Boys in Compton, I want to holler at you, get you Gotti, man. I want to meet you, Lil Nut and all the boys from Nutty Block. All right, Compton, Watts, South Central, all over LA, man.
Yeah. And y'all already know it's Fort Worth, Murderworth, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we doing it. Shout out to the East Side Pilot. Shout out
to Trey, I see you, baby.
Yeah, shout out to
on your stuff.
Shout out to
Gershlin's.
Shout out to the
Everybody, I'm working on
Shout out to the
Jesus.
West. You know what I'm saying? Them homies on the West Side. Come
San
on.
Diego,
You know what I'm
40s,
saying?
30s,
Yeah.
Skyline, Lincoln Park,
Y'all better know it.
all of my guys, man, Swans, APBs, all over LA,
Yeah.
Pueblos, Villains. All right, Bell, I see you, baby.
That's a wrap.
60s.
Yes.
Gotta stay on my grind and get my money right. Gotta make sure me and my brothers hustle through the night. Me and my niggas, we gon' swing, we gon' blow that pipe. Hop out on your block with thunder clapping when we make it strike. Hop on feet, hop out, give 'em smoke, gon' be a count.